Hi, it's Michelle from Movement Lesson. This is the first video I'm making on my preoperative care. Now, I don't know when my surgery is. This is Monday morning on November 15th. I just found out or got the confirmation on Friday, the 11th. And so this is what we're going to do. Now, I'm going to do a video of me walking down the hallway so you can see where I'm at today. But everything is to the right. You can actually now feel what's going on, and what used to be in the hip flexor into the thigh is now going around the sides, and it's being pretty aggressive. I'm not concerned that it's cancer. Yes, anything is possible. There's been no biopsy, but cancer likes sugar, and it usually goes after an organ, a bone marrow, and stuff. So it was noted on the ultrasound that it is a fatty but unencapsulated cyst. And I'll note the findings on Movement Lesson Parents Practitioners so you can see what's going on. And again, it doesn't matter that if you're going for appendicitis, if you're going for a cancer surgery, colonoscopy, colon resectioning, which I had in 2009. And that's why I wish I would have done something like that here. I was told after I lost my sigmoid due to diverticulitis, which was hereditary based resectioning, and I was told 3 to 5 months recovery, and I'm like, dude, I've got a child with special needs. You have a month. I was fully recovered in 3 weeks, back to work, off, and then it took another week to get officially off of weight restrictions. So, and he's like, I've never seen anything like it, and I'm like, good, send me your clients. So I just believe that, doing what I do can possibly help you. So now the first thing I want to work on is anything to do with a functional milestone. A functional milestone is anything from lying down to coming to sitting to crawling to standing to walking. Right now, because of how it's incorporating into my system and getting into my thigh, just putting a dish into the dishwasher can be going from a level 3 pain to a 14. I mean, just diabolically painful. And so I can tell my body is avoiding movement. We don't want to avoid movement. So I am watching what I do, but at the same time, we need to have movement. So with those movements, I'm just going to go, and I need to, on a daily basis, establish a counter response. Now, counter response is meaning that if my right shoulder goes or my right hand, I counter through. These are our foundational functional movements. Me going up and down with my arm, how is this not a functional movement? Can't do anything with it. I can't feed myself. I can't touch my nose. I can't get dressed. And two, the movement doesn't go through our major minor organs, and it's not a counter response. This is a linear movement, right? So you can get as comfortable as you need to do for your situation, but what you need to reestablish is this synchronized counter responsive movements. So now what I'm doing here is just as I'm lifting up my right shoulder, I'm also just responding with a lift with my left pelvis, sorry. Now, I'm not lifting and lifting. This isn't a crunch. This is a count. The movement is actually through the spine, and this is where you're going to be bringing in a little bit of movement lesson. So my hand, and I'll be doing it from both sides, is just right at my solar plexus. And as I'm doing this, I call it my mayonnaise jar hand, rotating my spine to cross midline towards the right. Now, a lot of people feel that reflexes are a patterning as such. It really isn't, doesn't work that way. You're meant to move in a certain way that counteropposes gravity. That's one of your organizations. One of your organizations is through weight transfer. One of your organizations is what I call a transitional movement, meaning that this is a movement that you can transition from one to the other. Now this movement, where is this significant? This is lying down, responding to stimuli. This is coming to sitting. This is tummy time. It's a crawl. There's a lot of milestone, foundational movements that are covered in this movement. So now what it looks like from the other side, and I'm just chatting away, but I'm just lightly bringing up my right shoulder and my left pelvis. But I'm doing this through my spine. Now I'm going to do it through the other side. Now this is where I'm not counter-responsing. So I'm going to just bring up my left shoulder while I'm pressing down my right shoulder. So I have a counter response through the shoulders. And this is part a lesson, a movement lesson, and it's part an evaluation. Now I'm going to bring up the right hip, but I'm gonna, see I can't do, like this is where the thigh muscles are interrupting with that functional movement. So now I'm going to more so bring down my left pelvis to start at least initiating the feel of that right, and it's almost like you're drawing a string. I can't tell you enough, this is not pressing my foot into the floor or any of that. It's just sort of like if I had a balloon in my pelvis and it was just kind of rising and going back down. So now again, that's a very little counter response. See the difference? And if you don't, that's fine. Now I'm going to mayonnaise jar hand across my solar plexus. And it's difficult for my spine to cross midline. When I find difficulties in movement, do I get bigger? Oh, no. I'll get smaller. I can go this small. So now my shoulder and my pelvis aren't even rising off the table. And as I get more into it, I'm working on that. Now you can have glitches. Just because I have a tumor here, that doesn't mean I might have had something going on with my back. It doesn't mean I don't have something going on or an unresolved sprain in my right. And this is where you're going to start to realize that the care that you're doing is for whole body wellness. Now, something like this exercise, the reason I wanted to start off with this, let me tell you, if you don't think I'm doing this right prior to surgery, for a couple of reasons. What anesthesia does is it makes you that you cannot respond. It brings you in a sense to like a near death. I'm switching over, by the way, now into my right, left situation, because it's not that you don't remember surgery, it's like a near death. But when they put you under, you want that diaphragm is available and not overinflated. So my last surgery, the lady goes, "Oh, we forgot to give you your heparin," and she literally grabs my sub-Q and whacks me, because it's so you don't clot. And there was no foreplay. She did not warn me. She's like, "Oh, they forgot to give you," like I'm supposed to know at the time what heparin is. Now I know because of my son. And she, like I said, and she just jabbed me instead of, "Hi, Miss Turner, I'm so-and-so. Listen, this is something we have to do before surgery." Like, just explain it. And, I freaked out, cried like a baby. And that's when the anesthesiologist knocked me out. I was so sore because I was so stressed through the pelvis. And so this will be a lesson I will be doing and going into. I can't even begin to tell you again, guys, gentle, slow. I'll be teaching you more and more about the practice of movement lesson. But again, how is this? This is a pre-crawl, right? See now already the difference in what I can do. My body knows crawling again, right? My body knows crossing midline, right? My body knows even if I lift my hand, right? See now my whole body, now it's a functional movement versus me just lifting my hand, right? And taking this time in a safe environment for you. Now I'm going on my table. For you, it might be on the floor, it might be in your bed. This is something you can do first thing in the morning, right? But I'm just going back to those basic infant movements. This is why it's so important for your baby not to have too much time in a car seat or a swing. They just need to work on these movements, whether it's in tummy time or it's on their back. But now again, I'm just bringing in and playing with my body in that sense, just these little baby moves. Now again, I know I'm going fast. For some of you, it's great. And for some of you, this might be just too much. And that's okay. Your whole objective right now is just to learn about counter responses, counterbalance, and weight transfer, right? That's where it's a functional movement. We'll be doing every day, we're going to be doing something new. Thanks so much for watching.